Okay guys, today I'm here at the Gulf of Mexico at the wonderful weather in Galveston, and this is a beautiful school from Mr. Ishmael Robles. Mr. Robles is a world champion in kickboxing, and we know each other for many, many years. So, hello Mr. Robles, and it's a big honor to be here in your school.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
First of all, Mr. Robles, this is a nice place. You have that here for how many years? You teach?
I've been teaching now in Galveston for 40 years.
40 years? Wow. So when did you start martial arts?
Well, I started martial arts when I was 17 years old. I was junior in high school, and a good friend of mine named Jesse Benavides took me to a karate demonstration, and I really enjoyed it. It looked like something I wanted to do, and I've been boxing a little bit in the boys club.
Okay.
So I wasn't really afraid of contact, so got involved in it and did really well with it. I won my first tournament after 2 weeks of training.
Oh wow! 2 weeks training? First tournament? Oh my goodness! How successful was that?
Well, that was fun. That was exciting, and like I said, it was bare knuckle, so that was a little bit different because I didn't have boxing gloves.
Okay.
But it's still, I was still able to hold my own and do okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that means that your martial art life is based on the karate style?
Pretty much so, I guess, because we've had I've trained with so many different instructors. The traditional aspect was actually taught in my school, but also it was a competitive aspect too.
Oh.
So we were more into the traditional as far as the forms, the Chundapong forms, but at the same time, my instructor at the time, a gentleman by the name of Grandmaster James Stevens, was one of the top competitors in the state and the nation.
That was the influence.
The influence was very strong on competition.
Oh, okay.
So, and we were never really that good at forms, but we did our forms because that's how we had to go from rank to rank.
Okay.
Forms.
Awesome. So when was the time that you feel that this is your way, the martial art is your way? I mean, so many people practicing martial art for sports or whatever, but I mean, this is your life. You put everything in that sport. So when was the time you feel that?
What's interesting, I think things change in your life is certainly as you get older and more experienced. At the very beginning, it was all about the competitive aspect.
Yes.
Because if you haven't been a boxer and fought in boxing tournaments, and then getting right into karate tournaments, everything was more geared towards competition. And in order certainly for me to move forward with my competition in higher levels, I had to learn my form so that I could get promoted from belt to belt.
Okay.
So that's what kept me doing the forms, even though I didn't really care for the forms that much. It still made me want to do them, the one steps and the self-defense and things of that sort, because it gave me a higher ranking.
Yeah.
So that by the time I got to brown belt, certainly by the time I got to black belt, I was really, really excited about some of the things that I was able to accomplish.
Okay. So do you think that from that point that you decide to be a martial artist and a professional in that way, so what is changing in your life? What is that? I mean, it's more than sport. I mean,
Definitely. I think that the thing that changed my life was the competition was awesome. It made me feel really good. I really enjoyed the competition. I enjoyed the camaraderie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some of the people that I had an opportunity to meet, compete against, and things of that sort. I think what made me a true martial artist was when I opened my studio and began to teach.
Okay. From that point
on, I totally changed, because it wasn't just about being the competitor, although I was still competing.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I had a greater responsibility. All of a sudden, I had students that were looking up to me and wanting my advice, wanting me to help them to become better.
Yeah.
And that proved to be a big turning point in my life, because it made me more responsible, I think.
So if you think back, what was the worst you have in martial art? I mean, what was the bad experience you had? So many people, they're talking about, oh, I'm so successful, I won so many trophies, I won so many titles. But to me, it's very interesting to hear about people like you. They have such big trophies and whatever you win. So, what was the worst in that time?
A lot of things, certainly. There's so many personal things that go on in your life, because you've got to balance. I was balancing a profession in my competitive career, and then also with a personal life.
Yeah.
I didn't. I guess competition kept me away from marriage for a long time. I didn't get married until I was in my late 30s because I was just too busy traveling all over the country and competing.
Can't handle that.
Right. So by the time I finally did settle down and did get married, you know, it kind of changed my life a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
I didn't settle down for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I mean that especially this is the point, because when you spend all your power on all your energy and your career, I mean, you must do that when you want to successful like you are. So that sometimes you get problems.
Right.
So, and you know, it's very interesting to hear how people handle that.
Sure.
So,
I tell you what, this is, you know, interesting. One of the things that happened to us, it happens to people. I went through a divorce, and then I went through some business problems. And the thing that saved me, I think, other than good friends that I was able to have around me to support me, was the fact my training.
yes, sir.
Because that's when I really set my mind to be more positive about what life is all about.
Exactly.
And hitting the heavy bags, I mean, that was my sessions in the back on the heavy bags probably did more for me to combat my depression, because I was going through a lot of depression at the time. So that did a lot for me. That helped me tremendously. Now I was all the martial arts, certainly, and my friends, and certainly my belief in God and everything like that. That's what helped me and moved me on. Now, I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm still on the right road.
Wonderful. So you're talking about friendship. I'm talking to Mr. Troy Dorsey, and he told me that you both stay close, working together, you know, sparring together and all that stuff. So what means loyalty, and what means friendship to you?
It's very important to me. It's more important than anything. I mean, I'm blessed to have the friendships that I've encountered, and even more so, I think, certainly Master Garza would attest this. It's funny sometimes, the harder you fight each other, the more you care about each other.
Yeah.
Because I've had some friends in the past. One of my great friends was Demetrius Avanis, and we used to beat the heck out of each other. I mean, totally. But afterwards, it was, you know, he was like a brother to me. But the same with Troy, the same with Master Garza, and some other friends that I have. The training, the touching each other with those gloves and those boots.
Yeah.
You know, something about it. I don't know how you can compare that.
Yeah.
But it's just the camaraderie that you get from that.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw many videos from your fights, and I saw the awesome knockouts you have. And so what? Can you remember the feeling you got after you win the first world champion title?
I was certainly it was a team concept. When I first started fighting in kickboxing, it was a team concept. Because I fought on the first kickboxing team in the state of Texas back in 1975.
Who was in that?
That team was a great team. I had Raymond McCallum, one of the greatest point fighters of all time.
Yeah,
in my opinion, the best. Demetrius Avanis.
Oh, okay.
Roy Kervin. A guy named Phil Wallman.
Okay.
And then myself, I was a flyweight. And another gentleman named George Burris, I believe.
Okay.
That was the heavyweight that
Okay.
we brought in. But we fought Benny Urquidez and the LA Stars.
Yes.
And we defeated him. The only one that lost his match by 1 point was Demetrius, who fought.
Oh,
Benny
really?
Urquidez. He fought Benny.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great match.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was a great match, but only a 1 point difference.
Oh.
And all the rest of us won our fights.
Nice.
But then the team concept was to me the ultimate, because all of our friends were together. We trained hard for that, and we got it. The individual certainly opportunity to win a world title was very gratifying, and certainly that's what I've been working for so long. Just to be given the opportunity to be in that ring and be able to do it was just great. One of the best times of my life.
I mean, that sounds to me that you are a person who is very good in balance at this time also. I mean, a young man which is, so good in martial art, sometimes the people have ego problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that sounds to be very, very nice that, you be totally in balance, right?
I hope so, because I think winning anything, I think it has a lot to do with your upbringing, your friends, your how you feel about people in life and
Yeah.
things of that sort. It's
Yeah.
not, you just can't. I think a lot of people that do have the ego, they think it's all about them only.
Right.
And I know for a fact it's not about
Yeah.
me. It's about everything. Certainly, the blessings that I've had and
Yeah.
the friends and the family that I've had too.
So in that wonderful place in here, you're teaching kids,
Yes.
teaching adult
Yes.
people.
Yes.
So when you look back at the beginning of your career and you see the people today,
Mhm.
what do you think is changing in martial art and martial art training? Is there something different, or?
Yes, yeah, I guess yes and no. I know there's still a lot of schools that are big time into the competition, which I think is great.
Oh,
I think
yes.
it was great for me and a lot of my kids that I promoted and run through here too. And then a lot of it is just kids that are not the ones that are not the competitors.
Yes.
The ones that
Yeah.
probably need us as martial arts instructors even
Exactly.
more.
Yeah.
Because my instructor, June Reed,
Yeah.
used to tell me, he said, of all the, say, 100 students that you have, how many of those students are your best competitors? I'd say, well, I've got 15 or 20 really good ones. Well, who pays your bills? Well, the other 80. When you think about it, you're giving more attention to your competitors
Question
than the
of
people that pay
surviving,
your
right?
Exactly. So sometimes, I try, and it happens, but I try not to let it happen, is to let kids fall between the cracks. Kids that probably need
Yeah.
you the most.
Yeah, that's-
Sometimes we don't
oh,
pay
yeah.
enough attention to
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and we ended up losing. And
Yeah.
and I've had kids come back to me over the years, because I've been in business for so long. I get kids that come in and visit all the time. Do
Yeah.
you remember me? How old were you? I was 7 or 8 or 9. You said you never forget me. Well, but they've gone on to do well. I've had a couple of kids that have been in, that were off in, come back and say, you know what? If it hadn't been for what I learned here, I don't know if I would have survived, because I just kept thinking moving
Wow.
forward no matter what.
Wow.
So that made me feel good.
Oh yeah. Oh, that should be
Sure.
a thing you should
Sure.
be proud of.
Oh,
That. I
very
mean,
proud.
that is
Very
awesome.
proud, very proud.
So, Mr. Robles, what do you think about people? They start martial art not with 6 years old or as a kid or
Sure.
something. So they interested and they cross the border to be 40 years and
Right,
older.
right,
So what do you
right.
think about people they interested on martial art?
Sure. I have had a lot of students come in at an older age, and what has made me feel good about it was the fact that they come in and it's almost like they're kids again.
That's
Because,
right.
because when they come in,
Oh, yeah.
and they like, I've got doctors in here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
real professional people
Yeah.
that love to go, yes
Yeah.
sir, no sir. And
Exactly.
They're the ones
It's a
that,
flashback,
that
right.
give me the best battles,
Yes.
because to them they're starting as kids,
Awesome. Yeah.
even though they started at over 40.
It means there's something going on,
Right.
much more than
Right.
physical fitness
Right.
training,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that people, they have a limit at this age, or do you think they can do everything?
I don't think they're limited. I think sometimes they're limited as far as how long they've been out of exercise or not being able
Yes.
to push themselves
Yep.
anymore. Because you know yourself, kids walking into your school, they do the splits.
Right.
They're kicking straight up in the air.
Exactly.
That's
Time
after
is
one
over.
class, two
Yeah,
classes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's awesome to hear. So I remember a couple of years ago at the coast in here you have this horrible storm,
Yes, sir.
and you told me that in that school the water was like this high,
Yes, sir.
and that was a big challenge to you to
It was.
survive that in
Yes.
here. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
It was a big challenge. I was pretty much by myself.
Yeah.
And all my family had left town. And I've stayed for just about every hurricane here.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't it was a category 2.
Yeah.
And I've stayed for category 3s and 4s.
Oh.
So, but the problem was this was a gigantic storm,
Oh yeah.
and it moved in and it
Yeah.
flooded. About 80% of Galveston was underwater.
Yeah,
And-
and we
Right.
saw the horrible pictures
Mhm.
on the TV, and I feel so bad about that. So,
Sure.
and you told me that many people you lost at that time.
I lost many students certainly that left and moved out because their homes had been pretty much demolished or
Yeah.
flooded out.
Yeah.
But I started all over. I was lucky. I was blessed because I've got insurance. I had insurance. Of course, it took a while to get it fixed up, and I was out of business. I was closed for about 4 or 5, 6 months.
Oh yeah.
And started.
Which is a long time.
Which is a long
I
time,
mean,
certainly for any kind of business.
Yes, of course, of course.
But I had support. I had help. I had friends, and
Yeah.
I had former students that one was the president of a bank, and he helped me out a lot,
Yeah.
particularly with insurance money,
Yeah.
so I could have access
Yeah.
to money so that I could hire contractors to come in
Yeah.
and
Well,
redo the
you know,
school.
I mean, thanks
Sure.
God that
Sure.
you survived that in that way. I mean, that's crazy good. So, I mean, Mr. Robles, what is your vision for the future? I mean, especially for you
Sure.
as a martial artist with
Sure.
such big victories, and so I mean, what is that? What you're looking for in the future?
I'm still excited. I'm 64. I still work.
You're
out.
64.
Yeah,
You're kidding, right?
Yeah, I'm 64. I work out 3 or 4 days a week.
That's
pretty good. I still spar with my
awesome.
students. You know, I'm still able to move around.
Wow.
I had one student that I was actually really training for. He was 60, not as tall as you, but about 6'3".
Wow.
He tested for black belt. I kicked him upside the head 4 times.
Oh my goodness, really?
Of course, I had to really stretch out before I did it, but I didn't work. It worked. I didn't think I'd be able to kick him, but I got him 3 or 4 times.
Fabulous.
So that made me good. So I think I'm good to continue going for a long time. I have an instructor that I lost about a year ago.
Oh.
That was 84 years old.
Oh,
His name was Les Armentrout. He was one of my instructors in college.
okay.
And Les taught his last karate class 2 weeks before he died.
Oh.
So I figured, well, at 84 he could still be
That's
teaching.
oh yeah,
that's a good. I'm
oh,
gonna beat
yeah.
him. I'm gonna
Next
maybe be
competition.
94, maybe, I don't know. But
Okay.
I plan on teaching the rest of my life. I don't plan on stopping. I think this is what
Okay.
keeps me going.
So your vision is to be continuous in that what you do
Continuous.
and go for it.
Yes.
So awesome. I mean, the people they saw that, they will understand that you are much more than a successful martial artist, you know, and I think you know, I appreciate that so much that you spend time with me. I know you for so many times, Mr. Robles, and you know, I'm a fan of you, you know, because so I would give you the last word. So whatever you think to do, I don't know. I think you are you have a nice way, and you have a Christian way also,
Yes,
right?
thank
And that is really impressed to me. Thank you for that conversation. And the last word is for you.
The last word is that martial arts gives me an opportunity to meet people like you, and to keep up with others, because we all have something in common. And I think the true martial artist is the one that, just like you say, the egos. A true martial artist doesn't have an ego, and he spreads his philosophies to everyone. And I just want people to remember me. I think, you know, I hope I motivated people. I hope I didn't, you know,
I'm sure.
upset too many people.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
But I think every day when I get a student that calls me or emails me or stays in touch with me,
Yeah.
that I feel like I've got a big family
Yeah.
out there, and that makes me proud. Makes me feel really good.
Awesome. That's really touching words. Thanks a lot, Mr.
Thank you.
Robles. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Cut.